This is the Module 7 extra material video. So this video is for people who would like to learn a few more kanji or who would like to learn a little bit more about some of the content of the video. And I think I mentioned in the main part of the module that one of the problems when you learn kanji is that once you get to 200 or 300, you start forgetting the ones that you learnt first. And I find a really good way to remember them is to remember lists of things. While the list itself may not be all that useful, it helps you make connections between different kanji. And also, the more often you see kanji in different contexts, the easier it is to remember them. So I thought a fun thing to do for those people who are interested in this kind of thing would be to try and learn all the names of the stations on the Yamanote line. Now there are 29 stations on the Yamanote line, and the kanji in the names of the stations, some of them are very common and some of them are a bit obscure. So first of all, take a look at the video, An Introduction to Tokyo. And this explains why trains are so important in the development of Tokyo. I made that video as a part of some research I was doing for another topic, but it provides a kind of a good introduction to the historical development of Tokyo. And also another reason why why the Yamanote line is important is because when you're in Tokyo, which is a huge city, you can kind of define where you are in terms of your relationship to the various stations on the Yamanote line. And we'll start at Ikebukuro station, and the name Ikebukuro means, the Ike means pond and Fukuro means a bag. I don't know exactly what the origins of this name are, but obviously there was a pond there at some stage and it was covered by something, one would imagine. And now Ikebukuro is the third busiest railway station in the world, and it has 910 million passengers go through it every year. And the reason it's so busy is that it links the central part of Tokyo with the outer suburbs, especially the suburbs in Saitama Prefecture, which is to the kind of north and west of Tokyo. And apart from the Yamanote line, there are two private railway lines which have a terminal at Ikebukuro. One is the Seibu line and the other is the Tobu line. And you can see that the kanji for Seibu and Tobu, the second kanji is the same. And with Seibu, the first kanji is west, and with Tobu, the first kanji is east. And that second kanji comes from the name Musashi. Now Musashi is the name of an ancient province that used to be in the Tokyo area. And you'll often find with place names that there are kind of links with historical areas and historical events. Now with Musashi, the first kanji is used in the word bushi, which means a samurai, and the second kanji is used in the name Hanzomon-sen, or the Hanzomon line. And you might recall from the previous module that Hanzomon was where Alan went to try and find a ninja. So it's kind of by making these connections between kanji and other things that you might remember that it really helps you to remember kanji. And if you head south from Ikebukuro, you come to Mejiro Station. And as you can see there, this station's name is made up of the word for, or the kanji for eye, and the kanji for white. And this is a fairly quiet station, and it's near Gakushuin University. Gakushuin University is a really elite private university where some members of the imperial family went to study. And when I first went to Japan in the 1980s, for about 6 months I lived in a kind of foreign guest house which was halfway in between Mejiro Station and Ikebukuro Station. So I know this area pretty well. And again, heading south, we come to Takadanobaba Station. And you can see the kanji there is the one for high, rice field, horse, and place. And actually, in the Tokugawa period, there used to be a kind of a training area for samurai for training with horses. That's where the name comes from. And now it's a kind of a student area because it's close to Waseda University, which is one of the big private universities in Tokyo. Just outside Takadanobaba Station, there's a large building called Big Box, which doesn't have any windows in it. And when I lived in Tokyo, I used to go there and play billiards a lot. The next station is Shinokubo. And as you can see there, Shin means new, and the Japanese reading of that kanji is Atarashi, and we'll be learning that in module 8 or 9. And the next kanji is O, which you know means big, and the Ku means a long time, and the Bo means to keep something, so Shinokubo. And in this area, there are heaps of Korean shops and restaurants. Actually, there's another railway station just called Okubo Station, which is about 150 meters away. With regard to the meaning of this name, the Okubo was a Japanese family name. There are lots of kind of daimyo families from the Sengoku period with the name Okubo. So I don't think it has any particular meaning, just beyond being a family name. And the next station is Shinjuku, which is of course really famous. And again, the Shin means new, and the Juku means lodging or accommodation. In the Tokugawa period, there was a system of roads, and at a certain distance along these roads, there were kind of post stations where the government officials would check people's travel documents, and you could get a change of horse, or there would be accommodation there. So there are quite a lot of place names that have this word juku in them. And Shinjuku is the busiest railway station in the world and has 1.2 billion passengers a year. And it's also a centre of a very large shopping and commercial centre. And the headquarters of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government is also located on the west side of Shinjuku Station. The next station is Yoyogi, and the first character in this name means generation, and then you get the symbol which means to repeat the previous character, and then the kanji for tree. And Yoyogi is famous for Yoyogi Park. The next station is Harajuku, and Hara means field, and we saw the Juku from Shinjuku, so this kind of means field lodging. And Harajuku is also pretty famous as a fashionable area for young people. And the last station we'll look at in this module is Shibuya, which is of course where John in the story in the module goes to school. And the first kanji in this name is the Shibu means bitter, and the second one, as you already know, means valley. And Shibuya is an entertainment area which is very popular with young people, so there are heaps of pubs and restaurants there. And it's the second busiest railway station in the world with 1 billion passengers. And of course it's famous for the statue of the loyal dog Hachiko at the west exit. And in this folder I've included the story of Hachiko, which you might want to read. I included this in one of the folders at the end of first semester for people who wanted to study a bit of Japanese over the break, but I'm not sure how many people did, but I've put it in this folder anyway. And so it's relatively simple Japanese, so if you want to do a bit of extra reading in Japanese, you could read that story. And if you have any questions about it, just email me. And so we'll stop at Shibuya for this module, and in the next module we'll keep going around the Yamanote line. And if you want to memorize all the place names and see whether by the end of the semester you can actually write them all out without looking at your book. And just before I go, there was two more kanji that I wanted to squeeze into this module, which I wasn't able to do because I think it's a bit unreasonable asking students to learn more than 20 kanji a week. But the first kanji I wanted to include was maru, which means round. And the reason this is important is that it's the name of the Japanese flag, which is Hinomaru, which you can see there means kind of like the roundness of the sun. And there's a picture of the Japanese flag in case you didn't know what it looked like. And Maru is also used in the place name Maru no Uchi. Now Maru no Uchi is the business district of Tokyo, just in front of Tokyo Station. But it's also the name of a subway line, the Marunouchi Sen. And the Marunouchi Sen is also red, or at least it's got a red stripe along the side, as you can see in that photograph. So it'd be good to learn the kanji for red as well, and that way you can, when you're trying to think of the kanji for red, you can think, ah yes, the Japanese flag and the Marunouchi district.